Hey guys, it's Nenna and welcome back to my channel. So today I have another speed build, another decorating video for you guys. And I know, there's so many that I do, especially in this challenge. I feel like I'm always changing houses. I, once again, wasn't happy, and I know part of it is because I've been taking it quite slow and I've been making excuses as to why she wouldn't have a fully furnished house. That's why she doesn't have a career or no children, all sorts of reasons why she currently is the way that she is. I've been procrastinating and postponing aging Pepper up, and eventually I did it. And our next gen, the third gen, is of course going to be raised by Pepper, so I've always been a bit hesitant to really make, I guess, Rosie older, because I felt like if I made Rosie older, that would mean that Pepper is like maybe like 80 or 90 by the time she gets her grandchild and she raises that grandchild. Now, I'm not saying anything bad about her Pepper. She's she's very good in health. She's in very good health. That's what I meant to say. She's in very good health. She's very active. She does whatever she needs to do. But I wasn't really sure about the thought of like Pepper being like 80, 90 when she's raising this baby. Technically, like, it's fine, but if we try to make it make sense, by the time that our next gen is going to live on their own, Pepper could be like 110 if she's like 90. So I'm not exactly sure. Imagine if we make Pepper like about 80, she's gonna be 100 then. Hey, should we just, should we just say that Pepper is about 70 then? Should we just all just unanimously agree that Pepper's about 70 at the moment, like 70, 75? Would make like about sense. But then still, imagine, that means we still have to play with like Rosie at least for like another 40 years, which would make Pepper 110. Either Pepper is going to be the oldest sim that's ever lived, or or I just really have to hurry with this baby. Thinking about the ages, trying to make it make sense, because I don't want it to be unrealistic. Some things are, of course, are unrealistic, but for the most part, I don't want it to be too unrealistic. I want it to be based on something so I can relate to it and I can kind of, treat it as something that's actually happening, right? Rosie should have her life together more than this. Now, I know that she's just living life and she is dating and having, all sorts of things. I just don't feel like she's giving me that I'm a mature adult, I can take care of myself kind of vibe. I feel like she's more so giving me the I don't really know what I want and I'm not really doing anything to get to anything kind of thing. I've been wondering, I'm like, okay, but where did it go wrong? Because eventually she was doing very well. Julie moved in with her. It just all feels like it came to a halt. And I've been really thinking about this, but what I think the answer is that it's Trevor. I think that there's something about Trevor that really made her unable to kind of progress more behind the scenes. He was actually able to manipulate her more and maybe hold her back in certain ways. There's something going on with her and Trevor, and I think it's going to really show as well in this house. One of the things that I really wanted to make sure of was that what I had in mind reflected all throughout the house, and I did change most of the furniture to black because I did feel like it was more of it just fitted the red better than I think the white did. And I wanted Rosie's room to become Trevor's playroom. I wanted it to look like Trevor, instead of moving out, Trevor actually managed to settle in. And he settled in so well that he kicked Rosie out of the one room that was hers and turned it into his playroom. And then he shares a bedroom with Rosie and they sleep together there. They're kind of dating, but not really. I'll talk about that in just a second as well. But I wanted it to be Rosie's space, but at the same time, not much of Rosie is there because Trevor also kind of took over that room and put some of his stuff there. So it's kind of like she has no space of her own. And I really wanted that to kind of, shine through. Like, she's here in her house and she has a house, she has a home, but she's letting someone else like run the show. She's letting someone else run her life. And I think it's all contributing to her feeling worse and worse and worse. I feel like she's just mentally gone like 10 steps backwards because of the situation that she's currently in. But at the same time, she just doesn't really realize she's in a situation because it all went gradually. And at first he didn't want to leave, and then, you know, he just kind of moved in and stayed, and then he stayed longer, and then eventually he did move in. He wanted more space, and I gave her a space in the living room where she can do like her stuff and keep her trinkets. Owns this entire house, but yet somehow she still is only able to have this small part of the house for herself because Trevor has decided to kind of like, I don't know, it's like a parasite, really. He's just been, you know, spreading his bulbs throughout the house, and it's just become like, you know, Trevor's house, and she's just living in it, you know what I mean? She's just there. One of the things that has really been on my mind is like the fact that Trevor's been really sweet, and he's been super sweet to her. It's why she changed her mind so quickly, and why she's been able to let him smooth talk her. And I'll talk about that more in the Let's Play, but it's definitely been kind of like a power struggle, so to say. What I really want for her is to get her life together, and I think that we obviously have to have a baby, so I'm going to incorporate that in one of these episodes really soon because I am really curious as to like what the baby's going to look like. And I feel like having a baby a little bit earlier could help us out a little bit, because when because I think, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? I guess it technically doesn't matter, but it does matter in my storyline, because if Rosie has a baby when she's like 50, Pepper's is gonna be around for like so freaking, Pepper's gonna, like, she's gonna literally gonna be 120. I mean, and if I do end up doing it, that would mean that someone else is gonna have to raise the child. It's just like, do I make Pepper ridiculously old, or do I just make Rosie have a child earlier? And I think I'm gonna go for the latter. Rosie's just gonna have a baby really soon, so she's not gonna be like 50 or close to her mother's age, and then it'll magically work out. In any case, it's like what I said, a really big power struggle, and she's kind of losing herself, and I feel like it really reflects in her life, because she used to have like hobbies like going to the gym, and now she has a treadmill in her bedroom, so that can kind of keep her busy, but she doesn't really do anything. She even bought an easel because she loved painting when she was on vacation. I wanted her to have a, you know, shot at it. She really has just kind of like lost all passion, and she doesn't really know what to do. So I think this is really where a career and her job is going to come to play. And it's just kind of funny because it was actually Trevor that one day said to her, you know, Rosie, we're getting kind of low on money. I think we need to furnish this house. And unfortunately, I don't have any money, but I think it would be, better for us, for the both of us, if, we improved our living condition, if we improved our house, and we could do with, a bit of paint here and a couch there and a TV, just all nice things. And he said that he didn't have any money, but that he would contribute as soon as he would save up from like his work. And I said, okay, well, you know what? I'll just I'll pay up front, but then you have to give me your share. And then after most of the stuff was, delivered, it actually ended up costing a lot more, and she had to talk to Trevor and explain that she needs his help because there's no way she can afford this all by herself, and that they have to cut some cost here and there. And Trevor ended up saying, well, maybe if Rosie doesn't have enough money, she could take out a loan. He couldn't because he said that he had like some bad credit, or there was something that wasn't really like adding up, I guess. And Rosie felt bad for him because the way that he said it, he was just like so apologetic. I cannot do it. I wish I could. I would love to help you out. Please, can you do it for the both of us? You would help us out so much. I'll pay you back, I promise. I just need to work a few more months and then I have the money, that kind of stuff. And then ended up kind of like pushing her over the edge. That's what made her more compelled to get a loan. And the funny thing is, Pepper did the exact same thing. And it's one of the things that Pepper taught Rosie, like, do not get a loan. Getting a loan costs money. It doesn't just, you don't just get money, but it's going to cost you more money than you get. Fortunately, she didn't listen, and it's been a few months. Trevor still has not really made any plans, and he is not willing to give up his money either. In fact, he's actually recently been talking about quitting his job because he feels like now that they have this loan, perhaps they can just, you know, live comfortably for a little bit. And he didn't exactly tell her it like this. He, you know, he smooth talked her like always, but he did say something along the lines of, well, with this loan, I don't really have to work and I could just stay home and watch the animals, and you have your business anyway, so if you just work hard and earn us a lot of money, we can pay off this, you know, this loan very quickly. And with us, he of course means Rosie, because Rosie's having to bust her ass off trying to pay back this loan now, which she originally couldn't afford, all whilst having spent her entire savings. I think we spent about 20K on the house and the kitchen and living room. No, the kitchen and the dining part and some of the outside was another extra 20K, I think. So all in all, we spent like 40K and our loan is about 20. So we spent all of our savings on the house and now we are in debt, which is just wonderful. It's just wonderful. I've said enough. Like, I want to spoil so much more, but I feel like these are just like the important things that you guys should know about. And obviously the house is like not perfect, but I'm really liking it. I don't know, there's something about it. I'm just like, yeah, it feels right. Anyway, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.